Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you a simple document. It's our China marketing plan template. We use this file to keep clients of ours and team members in Nanjing Marketing Group on the same page. By going through this simple process, it helps remind them about basically the marketing fundamentals that are going to really improve the chance of success for the project, especially in the early stages. This is a Google Doc file that you can use yourself and you can copy. I'm also going to post a blog post that's going to have more links about these different type of topics so you can dig in more to learn about each item. The first basic information that we need to get for everybody is the company and product. We want to know what the company is, what they're doing, what kind of products they're providing. The products that they provide in their home country might be more comprehensive than the ones that they're using when they first enter China. So we want to know which are the most relevant products for China in the early stages. If you don't know this, one thing you could do is you could just ask or find out what types of products Chinese people are already buying, right? Because even if you don't have a presence in China yet, there might be Chinese customers in your stores or on your e-commerce storefront in your home country. We need to know the website, storefronts, social profiles, basically anywhere that the brand has a presence online. And also if there's a business entity, like a corporation that is in China already. It's not usually necessary to have one in China, but it is helpful to have it, and it does affect some of the options that we have available for marketing. Next up is the goal and scope. So what is the goal for this project going to be? A lot of times when we first launch projects, we don't have that specific of a goal. It's just that the initial goal is to gain some qualitative feedback and start earning as much revenue as possible without much knowledge about how much would really be possible. In other cases, we might have specific revenue targets or maybe a cost per lead target. Anything like that is useful to have. When I actually talk to client contacts individually, I'll always ask them what the goal is, and it's surprising, but a lot of times people will have different goals, right? I might ask 3 people and get 3 different goals, which isn't a good thing really. So we want to coordinate everybody on the team on the same 1 or 2 or 3 goals. Now budget, we find a lot of people know their budget up front and a lot don't. If a marketing agency like us doesn't know the budget and they have to come up with a plan, a lot of the time what they'll do is just assume a budget, which might not actually be the best way of going about it. For services, our company is usually providing full service Chinese marketing, but in some cases it might only be one thing, like for example, Weibo advertising. The analytics that we will use is useful to have. Sometimes that can wait till later as well. And it's useful to know what other type of marketing is being done, because we can take a look at the Facebook or the English website or LinkedIn ads and get some inspiration about what types of marketing is working for a business abroad, and that might be extendable to China or it might not, but it's definitely going to give us some inspiration. This next section is tough to define and put in a template. It's about how Chinese marketing would fit into the broader strategy for a business. And usually the way that we answer this is, especially if we have access to a higher level person in the client company, we'll ask them why they're entering China or why they want to expand in China. And we might keep asking questions like that about why they're doing it, right? To get to a deeper level. And we might find some information that is useful for us, or we might help them think through the process a bit, which would actually affect what the goal would be. The team is really important. We believe in using small cross-functional teams, and we want to have everybody listed here. In our case, we would list maybe 4 or 5 Nanjing Marketing Group contacts, and then we might end up listing 1 or 3 or 5 company contacts. It's good to have a team of 5 people or 10 people or 15 people, but not 50 people or 70 people. Customers are really important, of course. Every business needs customers, and every marketer that I talk to would agree with this for sure. But in my experience, sometimes marketing conversations go off into discussing a lot about implementation while forgetting about who the customers are, or maybe wrongly assuming who they might be. We often use the same customer groups, like the same demographic groups in China that would be used in a client's home country, but that's not always the case. It might be just a subset of that group that is relevant for China in the early stages or even in the later stages. So we just like to list a customer out in a simple way, and I like to use personas a lot. Some of my other team members, they like to use something else. They'll list maybe a table that discusses or just lists the demographics point by point. What customers want. In here, we like to add actual things that customers say. We usually don't have this at the beginning of the project, but we will add it in later on. And we want to gather this from social media, from emails that customers send, from customer support and sales reps, and we want to know what they say about why they do business with you, or why they don't do business with you, right? What kind of problems do they have? What do they want? And this can lead to a lot of new insights. It can lead to insights on how to fix the marketing, how to make it better. It could lead to insights about how to make changes to a product or logistics process, or all sorts of different things. It's really important to share this information with the team. Next is competitors. At the beginning, we always ask clients who they think their competitors are, and they'll give us a list of about 3 or 5 competitors. And then some of our team members will also take a look on Baidu and some other places in China and see what competitors we see in China. Now, sometimes those are the same competitors. A lot of times they're different. A lot of times what we'll see international or global type competition, and then local Chinese competitors as well. Usually the local Chinese competitors are better at doing things in China, but the global competitors are better at providing services and products that are relevant for a global scale. Positioning. I think this is the toughest thing to answer in the marketing plan, and a lot of times the first answer that we have in here isn't necessarily right. I think this is a good one to save for a meeting with everybody involved, and to review it from time to time as well. Some of my team members like to use a SWOT analysis like this, so that they can think through the positioning, think through how the brand relates to its competitors, The process is about the customer journey. We want to know how somebody discovers a certain product, how they go through their research, how they actually go through the specific process on the website of making a purchase and receiving the product or service, right? This is very different for e-commerce and for lead generation campaigns. And we want to zoom in a bit on how the customer interacts with the company staff. How do they, if they reach out to customer support, where do they talk to them? Do they talk to them on WeChat? Do they have on-site chat tools or phone? How long does it take for them to get a hold of somebody? Are they able to talk to Chinese-speaking people? Then finally, what we have is promotions, and now mostly when people talk about marketing, they talk about promotions, and they like to jump ahead to this step and get some advice right away on what it is they should be doing for their promotions. Should they be running a campaign on WeChat, or should they be doing paid search? Should they be doing SEO? Should they be doing affiliate marketing? This is something that we cover for our clients, because after we get all of this other information above, then we'll have a discussion with our team internally and come up with a bunch of options. Then we'll summarize a plan here and go over it. And if you don't know anything about Chinese marketing yet, if you don't know about the e-commerce environment, or you don't know about Baidu and 360 and Weibo and WeChat and all the different social platforms out there, then I suggest following our blog and newsletter first to get that information.